So, what have we in the package? Should be MPPT solar charge controller. Now then, we have the panel on the roof of our van. Did I go for a Victron Energy? No. What have we got here? A Trustpilot thing. My receipt. What tells me it was $69.99. Yes, did I go for Victron Blue Energy? No. I went for the Ever. So, here we go. Here it is. Let's get it undone and see what's in here. We have a certificate, solar controller, and here is the beast itself. Here we are. Let's get her open. Ooh, nice bit of weight to it. Nice heat sink. That looks really nice. I'm quite happy with that. There we go. It's quite a large item actually. This is a 20 amp MPPT, which is a multi-tracking point solar charge controller. Now a Victron one like this would be best part of £200. I didn't go for the cheap Chinese one either. I wanted a brand make, so I went for the Ever. Seems very popular. And here's our installation instructions. Look, there we go. So I think what I need to do, system, 12 volts. Alright, I see you can have 236 cells, 148 cell, 154 VOC. I don't get what this means. I really don't get what. Anyhow, we have a panel on the roof of our van, and this thing should do the job. We have a 260 watt panel, what puts out a maximum of 36 volts. So I did the volts to amps sort of calculation and worked out a 20 amp would be plenty big enough. But there we go. It is a Ever solar charge controller, MPPT. So I think the next thing to do, we will get this wired into the van. So, we will be back when we're ready to get it in the van. I know a lot of people wanted to see this, you know, installed in the van. So, we'll show you how to do that. Well, we are back with our MPPT controller, a book of instructions, and a van with a space to put it. So what we're going to do is we're going to install this inverter in this van. So let me get you set up on a tripod. Here are our wires to our solar panel. See, they come up, they get tucked up there, running up the back of that carpet and up onto the roof where the panel is. Now then, we need to see if we have voltage out of this panel, and we need to find the negative wire as well, so we don't connect this panel up wrong. So let's have a look and just see, because this panel was used when I got it, so I don't even know what kind of voltage, if any, we get out of this thing. Now the panel on the top, it says it gives out 260 watts, 30 volts. Is that correct? I have no clue. So let me get my multimeter. Now we've got them wires stripped out. We'll have that round there so you can see it. There you go. Can you see that? You can see that. Are we getting any form of voltage? Look at that. We're getting 33.1 volts. And we ain't got a little negative part, so swap them round. Yeah, that's minus. So we know that this wire here is the positive wire. So if we know that's the positive, we'll chomp him off. There we go, because I've got to cut these right down anyhow. I just don't want to forget which wire is the positive one. Now then, we need our box. Whoops, a daisy. You fell out the camera, guys. You have fallen out of the holder. This phone holder is getting right dodgy. Right, so we know the one we're cut is our positive. So we're going to slide a piece of red heat sink over that and slide that all the way so we don't lose it. Come on, so I don't know how short we've got to have these wires, you see. I really don't know, so we'll just slide him right up there. There we go, so we know that's the positive one. There. So we've got our wires up here, our positive. So where are we going to have our inverter? Our solar charge controller, I think our solar charge controller can go, what do you reckon there, look? Above that inverter, look. And the wires can come up and into the bottom of it. Perfect. I think that'll do us. So let me get this thing screwed to the backboard. I've got some screws here, look, all ready. We'll get that screwed to the backboard. We might as well actually get these cables cut to length because they're hanging out the way like an old hemorrhoid. So we'll get these cables nice and neat. We want a nice drop on them and then come up. So let's cut one. That'll do. Let's cut two. That'll do. And we can use that spare cable we've got to go out of the panel to the battery. Because that's obviously the correct gauge for the application. So, I've got to get in the back of this. We're under the bed at the minute, guys. We're under the bed. Because I've got a big bedroom in this van. And me and Mrs. Man Cave, we're going to Swan and Morley tomorrow to show some engines. This wire here is for our hot water heater, but we ain't got to that yet. We got wires galore, guys. So let me hide these wires out of the way. There we go. We don't need these ones for the minute. These are coming much later on. There we go. We just want these two. And we know which ones are positive because we've got the red sleeve on, which we'll slide up to the end in a minute and sweat on. But for starters, I just want to get this bolted on. So, we have some cables made up. We've got this little red one, which we know has got to go to the plus of our battery. So basically, up there. And obviously connect to our battery. We have our battery. You can just about see our battery here. So this is the positive to our battery. We will put that positive wire on there with the nut. There we go. And we'll connect our negative one up the same. So that's our positive battery on. So let me get the negative one on as well, which I've made up here. And then we'll bare the ends. Read the instructions, but I'm pretty sure you connect your battery first and then your panels after. So we'll put the battery on here and we'll be back. Right, we are back. We have these wires connected to our battery. So let's get our live wire. Strip him. This is a nice heavy cable. But before we do a lot of that, I just want to check in the book the connections to make sure we do connect the battery first. Pretty sure we do though, I read it earlier. Right, there's our little instruction there. Connect battery in order, or sort of connection to the system in order of battery, then load, and then the PV panel. Well, we're not running any load, so we're just going to connect the battery and then the solar. So let's get these wires here connected. Now it says use a proper 10 gauge wire. This is the wire that was supplied with the solar panel when I bought the panel off the guy, I went and picked it up. The guy said, this is the wire you want all the way through. It's heavy enough to carry what that panel and this charger will give out. So there we go. That's what we're going to do. So let's undo this. Alright, that one's undone all the way. That's the 1, 2, third one in. I'm going to have to get out so I can look up under to see where this is going to go. So that's 1 hole, 2 hole, third hole in this one. There we go. So if I hold this, this one should clip in. Oh, I can feel it grabbing the wire. She's in. And yep, that is definitely on the third one, which is the one which is going to the positive of the battery. That's all good. Excellent. Now we want the one from the negative of the battery. Let me come round. I've got to route this quite neat, so I want that round the back. There we go. We want to run that right round the back of all the batteries, so we can come with this one up into there. And I'm assuming once we're done that, this whole thing will spring to life. As soon as we connect this, I'm guessing it'll just start springing to life on us. Right, I do need, which I'm just connecting this up now to demonstrate. I have got to put a fuse in this positive side. So I'm now going in the fourth one. We're in the fourth one, and our controller has sprung to life, look. And there you go. That's in. So that's our 2 wires for the panel in. I mean for the battery in. We now need to get our wires ready for our panel. So how long has this wire got to be for this panel to get it neat? Right, here we go. We've got to come. Yeah, we don't want to use all of that. I would say this is our positive, which has got to come up to here on this one. I nearly went on to that one. Look, wrong move. Here. You know, I think we could probably use all of this. No, we'll cut him off a little bit. So this is the positive. There we go. Let's put our positive on there to remind us which wire does which. And we'll just heat this on, because we know this is the positive wire, because I put this red heat shield on, didn't I? There we go. This will just remind us, if we ever have to disconnect things, where everything goes. There we go. Here is the positive wire to our panel. So we can now be putting that in this far end. There's the far end. There we go. Let's tighten him up. I think I could do these up with a Phillips, actually. Oh yeah, thought they were flatheads, they're not. Let's change ends, there we go. Oh, that's better. Alright, there's the positive to our solar panel. And this one is going to be the negative. We don't need him quite so long. Trim him off. Bear him up. Give him a little twist. And then we can put him, and this is where it all goes bang. There we go. So far we have no sparks, no heat. Oh wow, that's doing something, look. Oh, that's giving us something, look there, looky here. There we go. Now is the sun still up? No, the sun is just about setting, so we're not going to see too much of this. Now what we've got to do is, now all our connections are made to everything and everything's tight. We haven't grounded this. I think we need to ground this to the body of the van. So I'd better put a ground wire from here up to a ground. Right, we have our earth wire connected. What we want to do now is set this to, we have to configure it to tell it what type of battery we're using. Operation, now I see on here somewhere, you've got to tell it what kind of battery you're using. There's the diagram of how you wire these. So in case you're wondering how you wire solar panels, that is very, very simple. Very simple indeed. It's basically the 4 wires. So we've connected it in order. Right, it did say, where did I see that? Load on off, battery type. Here we go, battery type. Settings, here we go. Right. Clear the generated energy. Operation. Step 4. Press enter button to confirm. Settings, battery parameters under use. Please select the type of battery shown before. Sealed, gel or flooded. We haven't got to worry about the whole lithium thing, because we haven't got lithium. So let me find the bit and I'll be back. There was one thing I did forget to fit, I've just noticed, and that is this little thing what come in this bag. This is a little temperature sensor which tells the machine if things are getting too hot. Now I think that comes up here somewhere. I can see the hole. But I can't. I'm trying to get it in the wrong way. I think this comes in. There we go. That's in. That apparently is our temperature sender. Right, let me find this piece. Right, here we go. It says, press and hold enter button. Right, press and hold enter button. Press select to change battery type. This is Irish to me. Press enter. Battery interface. Right, there we go. Select gel Oh, we don't want none of them. We're gone past flooded, look. Gel FLD flooded battery. There we go. So we've set this to flooded battery. On the battery, press enter again. Yes, we've done that. Press select to change the battery type. Use. To set the battery's parameters. Right. Press select. Right, we've pressed select to change the battery type to use. Via the LCD. Right, okay. Set voltage. Default voltages. Right, it'll float charge at 13.8 volts. It'll do low voltage reconnect at 12.6 volts. This is all default, and it'll give a low voltage warning at 11.1 volts. So really, we haven't got to touch it. That's pretty much done. Yep, that is pretty. Is there a protective thing on that? There is. Oh, that's the best bit, when you peel that little piece off. So here we go. I hope you can see that display. I think you can just about see that, can't you? No, you can't see that from there. Oh, you can see it now. That's not lit up. Look. So that's what we seem to have. Whatever that means. So here is our solar panel, all fitted and installed. Let me get you down. There we go. Alright, we should be able to see the state of our battery and what's happening here. 12.6 volts, I assume that's our battery voltage. Is it charging at 0.3 amps? I assume that's the panel voltage at 24, 23. Oh, nice temperature, look. Load to end. This is all Irish to me. I don't know what any of this means. I'm just assuming that it is doing something and it's charging our battery. We have a little arrow going panel to battery, so that's what we're going to go with. There we go. I will have another read of the book later and see if I do need to configure it, but I think from the sound of it, them default settings were very good. But there we go. Right, that is going to be it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. The install of our solar charge controller. These wires just go up to the solar panel. These two coming out go into our battery, which is over there. And we have it grounded from there up to the ground of the fuse box, which in turn goes to the ground of the battery, which in turns go to the bodywork of the van. So yes, the whole thing is very well grounded. And there we go. Right, now that's all wired in. The next step is, it says in the book of instructions, to wire it before you fit a fuse. So we have now got a 40 amp breaker. There we go, which we've got to put in line with the solar panel. There you go, that trips at 40 amps. You reset. If there's any problem, instead of blowing a fuse, it'll trip this. So we need to install this in the positive line of the solar cable. So in the back of the van I go, underneath the bed, and we've got to find our live wire to our panel, which is this one, look. See this wire here? That's got the red on it, where it goes into the panel. So we know that this is the live to the panel. So we need to chop this wire and put this fuse in here, like so. So, without any further ado, get these tangles out. There we are. We can now chop this wire and put in, that's one, cut a bit of this out. 2. Now we need to strip this and put this into our panel. Put this in our fuse block. There's our wire. So we have our little fuse stripped to pieces here. So we need to put one end of this over, the other end over. That comes this way, Adam. There we go. So that lot can sit up there and behave itself. The other one goes on the bottom one. One. This bit over there too. And then we just put this into our fuse. One end in there. And tighten it up. The other end in there. Tighten it up. And then these ends screw on. That's one. That's 2. Screw that to our wall. There we go. Let's just screw this neatly to our panel. That's one in. And we just want to make sure this is upright and looking neat. There we go. And there is our second one in. Then we can just turn this on. There we have it. Right, now we need to check our display. We also have here is the remote, the EPEVA. This is the MT50, I think they call this. Is it the MT50? It's the remote display. I think they call this the MT50, which comes with the solar controller. And there it is. And there is the remote display. Here's our cable. Very simple to connect these. There is a socket on the back. This is basically like an Ethernet cable. So we put that socket there. And then we'll plug the other piece into the bottom of the solar charge controller. So while I'm doing that, you guys can have a look at the display while it powers up. There we go. Oh, MT50, look. So let me get this plugged in. There you go. Welcome. And there are our default settings. Right, there we go. There's the information that we are now getting from our panel. We have a happy battery. So over here, the panel is putting out 32.4 volts. And the battery voltage is 13.9 volts. And there we have it. Excellent stuff. Well, hello there. We have a quick update with our solar. Here we are. Here is our inverter controller that we have in the camper van. This actually switches the inverter on, and the inverter is actually running this fridge in the camper van. Note we have cold snacks only at the minute. That is a domestic 240 volt fridge. Simple as that. So nothing 12 volt there. This is 240. Now we have just had 4 days away in the camper. 4 days. Bearing in mind it's been a heat wave. We have had that inverter switched on for the entire 4 days. This fridge has been running for the entire 4 days. And you'll be pleased to know we are pretty much self-sufficient, because we haven't had any problems at all with the battery going flat. So here we are with our solar outfit. You've seen the fuse we fitted a few days ago. You've seen quite a bit. There is our inverter. As you can see, she's putting out 232 volts. Battery voltage 13.6. That's been hovering around there since we put it in. And here is the display, the MT50 for our EPEVA 20 amp inverter. And you'll be pleased to know battery has stayed full. And yeah, we are having no problem. It's a nice day today again. The fridge is running flat out. And yeah, this is keeping up absolutely fine. So our 2 leisure batteries there, they're just flooded batteries. 2 110 amp hours, so we've got 220 amp hours. Are they 110? Yeah, they're 110s. So we've got 2 110 amp hour batteries, just lead acid. And we have that charging through a 20 amp MPPT solar charge controller that you've just seen us install. We have our little gauge, and on the roof we have a 230 watt panel. So yes, that 230 watt panel will run this inverter day and night, running that fridge day and night, and we charge phones on that also. So we are having no problem, and we are totally now self-sufficient running a domestic mains fridge. So if any of you guys are thinking you need 12 volt compressor fridges, think again, you don't. That fridge was nearly new, £30 off marketplace for a small domestic fridge. So perfect. This is our solar outfit. We need to do some wire tidying. I need to order a longer cable for this, because I want this up in the living area. This cable is only 2 meters, and I need to order a 5 meter one. So yes, once this is turned up, we can get this screwed up above the inverter controller in the cabin, so at a glance we can see what our battery's doing. But we have so many settings along this thing, I don't even know what all the settings are. There's a load on and a load off button. For some reason we're getting 13.8 volts out of a load now. I don't understand it. You've got manual control, there's current controls, temperature 26.2, normal. Yeah, it's now charging at 1.3 amps, which is 53.7 watts, 31 volts coming out of the panel. There's our battery condition. So there we go. It's drawing 3.8 amps, 13.8 volts. And there's our total charge time. So yeah, we have put in 3.44 kilowatt hours of power. Oh, I haven't set the date yet. Well, there we are. At a glance, that is what we do. That is what's going on. So yeah, there is our solar. Now then, one question you guys are going to be asking is, what did all this cost? I can break it down exactly. The solar panel on the roof, which is way up on there, on top of that roof rack. There is a 230 watt panel, which we got off Facebook Marketplace second hand. That's a German panel, ex-Solar Farm, and that was £80. So that was £80 for the panel. The same guy also supplied us 10 metres of new cable, which was £20. So the panel and the cable was £100. The fuse, or the breaker, was £10. The solar controller, so that solar charger with the MTT meter, was £130. The two batteries, they were £100 each. And this inverter was £200, because that's a pure sine inverter, not a modified inverter. And yeah, I've just got that running an extension lead, goes up to the front and the fridge plugs in it. It's simple, it is really simple. So yes, so that's £200, £330, £430, £530, £540, and the panel was £100 with the cable. So that's £640, and we totally have a solar controller fitted in the camper, and we are self-sufficient. Because I know a lot of you guys think, well, what does all this cost? That's what it costs. If you've already got your batteries, you haven't got to worry. That's half your cost gone. If you already have an inverter, if you just want to put the solar in, you're looking about £200 for the controller, charger, cable and panel. You know, there you go. So that is it, guys. That is fitting solar to a camper van. Over the moon with the whole thing. Here is our van inside. She's absolutely lovely. We're having no problems with it at all. No problems at all. We absolutely love staying away in this thing. There we go. Absolutely lovely. So that's going to be it for this video. Like and subscribe, and we will see you guys next time. Bye bye for now.